Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Justine Call. I am team leader of Team Eclipse, which is affiliated with the Platinum organization, Team Sky. Today, we're going to be talking about a couple of suppliers that you can use for RV camping. We have some that you can do tours with in the US and overseas, which is really cool. Also to rent an RV. So I'm going to go ahead first and share with you a Google Doc that I made. And this will have all of the vendors I'm talking about today, in addition to the key information you need to access them, register with them, as well as receive the commission. So for those of you that are just popping in, we're going to be talking about RV suppliers today. I've shared in the chat the link that we're going to be using that has access to those vendors. So we'll just go right down the list. Let me go ahead and share my screen, and then we will get moving. All right. So the first one we're going to take a look at today is Cruise America. As you can see here, again, it's very non-traditional with how you're going to receive the commission. And it does vary per supplier. The way you're going to go about working with them to book the RV rental or the RV tour, so on and so forth. So let's just go ahead and go to the very first one, Cruise America. And we're just going to peek around at each of these vendors. It's a very free-flowing training. So go ahead and unmute yourself if you have questions. Feel free to put it in the chat as well. And I will do my best to keep an eye on it. So Amber asks, do these suppliers have campsites for campers or just RVs? So Amber, it depends on the supplier. Right, so you'll see as we're looking through one of them, has reservations for campsites. So we'll take a look. But first, we're going to look at Cruise America. So when we go to this website, we'll click on, oh, I think it just pops up as both. So here it says you can rent an RV. You can also buy an RV, right? We can only make commission off of renting an RV. All right, so now let's just mess around a little bit. Let's see. I'm gonna pick Colorado. I have a thing for Colorado. We'll do Denver. We'll just do.
Will you do me a favor? I live in Denver. I have a client that wants to rent an RV from July 28th to August 8th. Can we just choose those dates?
Absolutely. That is so cool. This is perfect. And actually, Katie will use this example for each of the vendors. That works really well. Can you just tell me one more time the details of it?
July 8th or 28th to August 8th. Or alternatively, we can do August 1st through 9th, whichever you feel like doing.
All right, so July 28th to August 8th or August 1st to the 9th. Is that correct?
Yep.
Awesome. Okay, great. What is the size of the family, or is it just a couple?
7.
Oh, wow, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, so do they want just one RV?
They want just one RV.
Okay, great, awesome. All right. Ooh, how exciting. Okay, so Colorado, is the Denver area going to be okay, or are they looking at Colorado Springs?
Denver area is where we live.
Okay, great. All right, so July 28th until August 8th. Okay, and you said 7 people. And let's take a look. So with this specific vendor, while this is loading, if we go back, you must call to receive the pricing and to book. So what we're doing today and what we're seeing with this vendor, Cruise America, is just seeing what they can offer in terms of sizes and what they look like, right? So make sure you're referring to this Google Doc that I shared for each vendor's ways of booking. So let's see what they pulled up. All right, great. So here's one. They have 4 RVs left, Katie. Get on it. All right, so it can sleep 7. It has a generator, gas cooktop, refrigerator, microwave, toilet, shower, and an outside storage space. That's great. And we can take a look at some pictures as well. Okay. Awesome. Oh, that's cool. They have that little storage area for barbecue stuff. That's awesome. One of the bedrooms. This is a really decent looking one. This is really nice. So this is going to be like the standard large motor home. Based on what Katie has given us of these travel details, this is potentially what it would look like on the inside. I think it looks really nice. Let's see what else they have here. Okay, and that's it. Awesome. So we'll go to choose vehicle. And they'll give you some more descriptions of what they can offer. So we see here, you can add these different things to the reservation. Remember, you're not booking on the website. You're booking through the vendor itself on the phone. Okay, so I need to include the phone number on here, which I can find right here. And I'll put that in there so all of you have it. Okay, so these are some things that you could mention over the phone that your client would like added on to the RV package that you are getting for them, right? So they can add distance, we can add a zero damage plan, we can add a kitchen kit. Let's see what that describes over here. So this is what all of that would include, just the basics, so that you don't have to pack your whole kitchen at home, right? That could be kind of a pain in the butt. And it's extra commission for you to add this on. Let's go back. There's also a personal kit, some towels and linens. There we go. Bath towels, dish towels, pillowcases, sheets, sleeping bag, washcloths. That's great. Awesome. All right, next step. Let's just see what else they have here. So this is what it would look like if the client were to book with themselves or if you wanted to book for yourself, right? We're not going to pay too much attention to this because of the process we need to go through. So this is helpful to have up if you take it all the way to the checkout window here to have, and then call the vendor and give them the description of everything you have put on to this reservation. They'll book it over the phone for you. You can receive prices before doing that, obviously. You'll send the prices over to your client. Once you and your client have come to an agreement on what they would like, you will give the vendor a call back, book it over the phone, and then you need to provide our IATA number. It's the 058-248-40 number to receive the commission. If we go back to the info sheet I've made, they will even email you the pricing and a quote that is formatted to send up to the client, which is really awesome. So they definitely work well with travel agents. They want us to be able to book with them for our client, right? Okay. So again, with this one, you're only going to be able to rent an RV and then add on those other kits that we just took a look at. All right, let's go on to the next one. El Monte RV. Get rid of these other tabs. So with El Monte RV, you can register with them. We'll watch this video in just a second. Ah, there we go. You can register with them on the site. I have included the link in the description. 1 second. Okay, so I've included the homepage here. This is to use after you've registered. I've also included the link here to actually register with the vendor. So I did speak with them on the phone today. I was able to get very specific instructions for you to use to be able to receive your commission. So to receive your commission, which is 10%, you're going to book over the phone and ask for Carolyn. Carolyn helped me today. She was lovely. And she said, call me. When you call, say my name. So you will call the number that is in the top left, and let me write that down, and I will put it in this sheet as well. 1 second. Okay. So on here is very similar to Cruise America, where you can really just do RV rentals. So let's take a look. Actually, we're going to use Katie's example again. I almost forgot. So we have Colorado. We have Denver. We can drop off at the same place for pickup date. We'll do the July 28th through August 8th. And let's search. So here, if you notice, we could not put the number of passengers, right? So we're just going to have to pay attention here. Right here, Class C family sleeper can sleep 7, which is what Katie mentioned her client needs. We can see the price here and the average daily rate. Let's click on book now and take it all the way to the checkout window. And great, we can see some awesome pictures of this as well. Let me get to the inside. Here we go. This is really nice looking. I like this a lot. Wow. Very nice. I would pick this over the other one. Just saying. Very lovely. Wow. Okay. Let's see. One of the bedrooms. Bathroom. Again, very nice looking. While I'm looking through these, how many of you have actually gone RV camping before? I'm very curious. Just put it
I have not, but I'm really waiting to.
What was that?
I want to, but I have not yet.
Gotcha. Okay. Awesome. Some of these vendors do provide travel agent rates. We're going to look at that one next. Actually, it's called Tracks and Trails. That's what it is.
I did a Utah Big Five and a camper van last year, which is different from an RV, but still fun if you're adventurous and really outdoorsy.
Yeah, absolutely. That's so awesome. Great. Yeah, a lot of people are saying that they have either gone camping or have used an RV. That's awesome. Really good. Oh no, Ron. Just sold my RV this weekend. Okay, yeah. Yeah. Awesome. Okay, so let's continue on. So we've seen some photos of this. This looks really great. They do have mile package, right? We can add in 100 miles, or if we need to have more, we can add that on in here. I don't know, 500 might be a lot. I don't know.
My client's doing 3,000.
Oh, wow. Okay, so let's put 30 in. That's good to know. Thank you. So it's going to add on this amount, right, for 3,000. So right here is our order total. All right, so what are we going to do? Let's go back to the info sheet. Once we know all this information, we're going to give this number a call. We're going to ask to speak with Carolyn, provide our IATA number. She's going to work all that out over the phone for us after we have confirmed with our client that they would like to book this specific RV. All right, Carolyn is going to ask you for your information for a check to be mailed for you 1 month after the client returns from using the RV. All right, and again, you'll get 10% with this specific vendor. All right. Any questions on the first 2 vendors that I have talked about so far? Oh, Brian, we usually call it glamping. Yes, it's true, glamping. I had regular camping when I was a kid. I have not actually traveled in an RV. But yeah, no, camping is camping, I suppose. Mary's asking, is the mile package strictly how far they can go in total? So Mary, it might vary by the vendor. I definitely recommend while you're on the phone with them to confirm whether or not that's true. All right, so let's go back to this.
Can I add something?
Absolutely, yes.
One quick way to get about that, if you can, is see if you can attach like a, oh my gosh, I just forgot my word, like a, not a ramp, but like almost like a trailer to the back of it, and then you can tow your vehicle so that when you get to where you want to go, like my client is going to take their Sequoia and then just drive around the Sequoia and leave the RV where they're going to camp.
Absolutely, yeah. That's definitely could be an option with some of these vendors. You know, when you call, Katie, just make sure you ask if they can have that kind of option.
Of course.
Yeah. Good. That's a very good point. Yes. So going back to Mary's question about what was it? Is the mile package strictly how far they can go in total? So with this specific vendor, if I click on more info, you can add miles to your trip before your travel and save. Our 100 mile packs can be purchased before you travel for only $31. Additional miles are calculated at 34 cents to 30. Oh my goodness. Okay. Additional miles are calculated at 34 cents to 39 cents per mile, paid after you return your RV. So Mary, my assumption is that, let's say this 100 mile package, you can travel up to 100 miles with the RV at the, let's see, at the 100 mile package, right? So if you go past that 100 miles, that's when the 34 to 39 cent per mile will come into play once they return the RV. Does that make sense? Yeah, Carol is right. It said no refund for unused miles. So you're better off paying when you get back. Absolutely. Yes. Thank you for bringing that up. So you don't necessarily have to get this, right? You can just take it off by clicking that blank space. So however many miles that client uses, they'll just be charged 34 to 39 cents, depending on the vehicle type when they bring it back. Okay, great, Mary. Thank you. All right, any other questions about these first two vendors, Cruise America or El Monte RV? Not yet. Okay, great. Awesome. Oh, I see. I missed a question. Jasmine is asking, would we still fill out a credit authorization form, even if they're doing the booking for us and commission forms? No, because they're not Archer Travel vendors. Does that make sense? And you're receiving the commission via check from the RV company. So you do not need to fill out a commission form, as far as I know. Okay, great. Thanks, Jasmine. All right, so let's move on to these other two vendors. We'll take a look at Tracks and Trails. From what I have gathered, Tracks and Trails is one of the easiest vendors on this info sheet to work with, because when you come to this link, it gives you the breakdown of everything, right? So let's go through this first. We make it easy for travel advisors to sell our trips. Our self-drive national park RV trips are a fun, enriching experience that will make your customers happy. So to start, we are going to fill out this trip proposal request. It requires us to give Archer Travel's information, right? So the travel agency will be Archer Travel. We'll give our IATA number, so on and so forth. You will also need your client's travel information and contact information to be able to submit this form. Any questions that you have as an agent, you can ask here, and then you'll submit. The company will get back to you with a pretty much fully put together itinerary, pricing, all of those things. It's really wonderful. So let's go back up and look through these other sections. So for commission, this is what I love. We pay a referral fee to qualified agents equaling 5% of the base package price paid 60 days before travel when the client makes their final payment. So you're getting paid before they go. How cool is that? If your customers book additional trips, you will earn commissions even if they book directly with us. Even cooler. So let's say you've submitted this proposal form that I showed before, and you book just what that form was for the client, right? And then the client's like, well, maybe I want to add on more to this trip. They'll do that, but you're still going to get the commission with all of those things that they're adding on, because it's adding on to the trip that you've submitted a request form for. Hopefully I worded that enough to make sense. Questions about that? No? All right. Let's keep going. So the process. Selling RV vacations requires specialized knowledge and is best handled by our staff. To get all the details right, we must be in direct contact with travelers. Simply introduce your client to us and we take care of the rest. You may want to help them with flights, but we do everything else and you get the credit. Use the form below to pass along their information. We book most trips 6 to 12 months in advance, since the best RVs and campsites sell out early. The earlier, the better. So I forget who it was exactly that asked this earlier, but someone had asked, can we do campsites for the RVs? This is a vendor that can do that for you. Okay. So here they say that they, provide unique experience, turnkey solution, additional commissions, like pre or post stays that you add on to the package. So let's just go up and take a look at the different destinations and other things that they can provide. So here they give an overview. Right here are some items that they can take care of for us, for our clients. Fully equipped RV rental, hotel reservations, campground reservations, maps and driving directions, as well as fun activities during a trip. Okay, then they just give some more description of what they can offer. Cool. Let's go back up. Here are some different trips that they can go on. So Katie, she was talking about Colorado, right? So let's take a look at what they have in Colorado. They just have this one as of right now. Not until next year though. Right. So Katie, let's go back. Oh, keep going. When you fill this form out, they'll give you more specific things for your client's travel. I don't want to fill this out for you. I mean, I guess I could, because I'm not working with them, and I'll just receive it and then not do anything with it. But for the sake of filling this out together, let's do this now. So my name, last name, my travel agency is going to be Archer Travel Service. Our IATA number is 058-24840. I'm going to put my email because they're going to get a hold of me with the information to send over to my client. We're going to put Archer's information. 1 second. I have to pull up the right stuff. Okay. 818-248-1511. Oh, they don't want the hyphens. There we go. Street address 2941 Boulevard. You know what I just realized? They need to send this to you via mail, your commission. So I think that this is going to be your agency information and you will keep the IATA number. I mixed up my vendors. I'm so sorry. Let me adjust this.
Recording in progress.
All right. How did you hear about Tracks and Trails? Let's see. Referred from a friend. I heard about it from one of our fellow agents. So here's where you'll fill in your client's trip details. So for Katie's example, they're going to Denver, Colorado, 7 people. Let's see, Canyonlands Arches in Central Colorado. We do Rocky Mountain in Central Colorado. So Katie, you kind of have to, you know, pick and choose with this one, which one you're going to do. I'm going to pick the Canyonlands one.
They're actually starting in Colorado. They're going to Michigan.
Oh, okay. Well, let me start with this. And they wanted to start on July 28th of this year, right? Or next year?
This year.
Okay. If their travel dates are flexible, please enter the date range below.
We could put in the 28th through the 9th.
Okay. And then you also said the 1st through the 9th is okay as well, right?
Yes, that's why I just figured we could include those dates.
Yes. All right, cool. All right, so you'll put their client information in here. Let's see. So here, is there anything else you think we should know? So Katie, in here for that client you were talking about, you would add in that they're starting in Colorado and then the other places they would like to go.
Mhm.
But yes, and then submit. I'm not going to do that. But afterwards, you'll receive an email from them, again, with a full itinerary, pricing, so on and so forth. And then you can communicate with them via email to adjust things as you see fit. And then move forward from there with the client. So let's say we get everything. How do we book? All right, so let's go back to our little info sheet. So to receive commission on your bookings, fill out the travel trip proposal request form. You must have your client's contact info. Even if the client books directly with the vendor, you will still receive your commission. So you're going to, I have to add in the phone number. You're going to call to book, or your client can book on behalf, right, of themselves, and you'll still get the commission for that. So really, this is a risk-free vendor, which I think is really great for us. Okay, any questions about Tracks and Trails?
I do. So sorry to dominate this.
No, it's okay.
Do you have to have them provide you with an itinerary, or can you just say, hey, I want the RV or the RV? Sorry, that's the old medical professional in me coming out. I just want the RV. I don't need an itinerary.
For this vendor specifically?
Yeah.
Yes. So they have trips, they have destinations. I believe for this one, I think they have to do one of the tours or one of these destinations to get the RV.
Okay, thank you.
Yes, so I would maybe go with one of the first 2 vendors. So either Cruise America or what was it? El Monte RV.
El Monte. Yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. All right, and last but not least, if nobody has questions about Tracks and Trails, we will head on over to Adventure Caravan. All right, so for Adventure Caravan, your commission will be sent to you in the mail from the company via check. So to receive the commission, you're going to call the number I've provided here and request the commission, or you can email here. All right, either way, you must include our company's IATA number. I've also, for each vendor, including this one, we have all the things that you can book with them. Let's see. So let's go take a look. All right. So really what we're doing here is just peeking around like all of the other vendors. So we have some new adventures added to their catalog, right? We can even request a free catalog. I'm going to do that now. For those of you that would like to do it, just to have a walkthrough on how to do that. I'm gonna stop autofilling. If any of you meet with clients in person, this is a really great thing to have, this catalog. United States. Obviously, all of this will be your information. What is 10 plus 10? That's funny. All right, submit. I'm more so curious if they're going to tell us how long it will take to get that. Okay, your request for a new catalog has been received and will be mailed within 2 business days. Wow, that's pretty quick. All right, let's go back home and take a look at everything else. All right, so they have some new adventures. So here you're going to see the type of tour it is, right? So US tour, there's also guided RV rallies, which I've never heard of, honestly. Does anyone know what a rally is?
Yes, usually with a rally, you have a host who's going to pick your events, the different things that you're going to do, whether it's restaurants, tours, what have you, and you're camping at a site with other people who have signed up for it. You usually share meals together. You go out to dinner with one another. When you're doing all of these tours, you're doing it with other people who are participating in it.
Exactly, yes. I had to call this vendor and ask, I was like, what is this? I've never heard of it, but that is exactly right. It's kind of like if you were to do like a Europe tour package with Europe Express, with Insight Vacations or Colette Tours or Brennan Vacations, right? You're going to be with a group of people. You're all going to be doing the same things together for the most part. Right. Awesome. It's just with an RV. I think that's kind of cool. Brittany says, click on Mardi Gras Rally, please. Sure. Let's go for it. Okay, here we go. So duration 8 days. You can plan far in advance. That's pretty awesome. Wow. Okay, February 15th to the 22nd. So Brittany, if you're free for it, you want to do it, here it is. Okay, so they have it broken down by 2 people, 1 person, and then additional guests. Ooh, an early bird discount. Okay, if registered 12 months prior, so a whole year in advance. Hotel or cabin option available. Here's the itinerary.
A good way to describe it to people is an all-inclusive vacation. So once you pay that, everything is taken care of. You just go, you just show up on time. I don't know how they do theirs, but it's pretty strict. There's usually a time if you're going on a tour, you leave, and if you decide that you don't want to go, there's no pressure or anything. They just leave you alone, and if you don't show up, that means you did not want to go.
Right, yeah, absolutely. Yep. At the end of the day, the client's paying for whatever they're paying for, right? And so they're going to decide what they want to do with the money they spend, regardless of what the itinerary says. Yeah, that's very true. This is a pretty cool itinerary though. House of Blues. I'm a musician, so I'm kind of, I'm like, I saw a music one that I want to check out. Brittany, yes, this is an awesome idea to market, especially these rallies specifically, because, maybe someone wants to go on a tour, but they don't really like the typical everyday tour that you go on with like Insight Vacations and Colette Tours, right? This is a very like adventure travel type of tour experience, in my opinion. But yeah, so they have the full itinerary here that you can look at. Let's see. It shows again everything that's included, and you can add on travel insurance for this. Very nice, awesome. I want to look at the music one that I saw. Where is it? Music of America, 14 days. Do I have any musicians in this meeting? I want to know. Am I the only one?
I am one too.
Oh, that's awesome. That's great. So this one could be kind of neat, So they have dates for 2023. It's a 2-week tour. How cool. All right, Branson, Missouri, Memphis, Nashville. Wow. This one's pretty cool. I haven't looked at it yet, obviously. Great. So 3 places, and you're spending a few days in those 3 places. That's pretty great. All right. And again, includes all the things that you'll have with it and the tour route, and you can add on travel insurance. Ronald says he wants to be a bassist. A wannabe bassist. That's awesome. What's really great too is you can print these itineraries out, and you could maybe even make them into flyers to market, right? So again, really awesome. They don't necessarily have a marketing section up here, right? So that catalog that I just requested, along with being able to print these itineraries, are really great. So they have Alaska tours, they have Canada tours, US tours, overseas. Let's take a look here. Okay, Australia, New Zealand, Europe, the Mediterranean, and South Africa. This is really, really awesome. I like adventure caravans the most, to be honest. So let's see what they have with Europe. Wow, look at all of this. All right. Does anyone have a particular one that they want to look at? Anybody? No? Wow, okay.
Central Europe.
Central Europe? Okay. Oh, someone just said Alaska or Wales. Okay. Let's start with Central Europe. We'll take a peek at all of these. How about that? We have some time. This is our last vendor that we're looking at. Okay. So here it's overseas, right? So all European tours have a $250 non-refundable cancellation fee per person. They have dates for next year. All right, let's take a look at the itinerary. So about 2 days in each destination. So Germany, Czech Republic, Austria, Hungary, Switzerland, France. Wow, very nice. Okay. Again, we can add travel insurance on. Here's some photos from this itinerary. Okay, so these are all the different places that you would be at. That's beautiful. Awesome. All right, let's go over to other ones that were there. Someone mentioned Wales. We'll do this one next. All right, so dates for this year. Wow. Oh, it's already happening. It's over. It's gone, done. But they do have 2 years from now. Wow. So the frequency of these itineraries are not necessarily frequent. Okay, so Germany, Belgium, France, England, What else? Then we go into Scotland, back to England, and in Ireland. Wow. These are very full itineraries, in my opinion, right? We're going, look at how many days all of this is for. You're only spending like 1 day in certain places, 2 days in certain places. So you're definitely going to be very busy. So if you're someone that likes to go all over the place in one trip, these are good options. Okay, let's go back. Someone had mentioned Alaska. So let's go back up here to our tours and let's go to Alaska. Let's try this one. No, okay. Let's just click here then. All right. Oh, Jasmine says 2-night hotel stays as well, maybe for those days. Yeah, Jasmine, so the 2-night hotel stay, if you're referring to the one we were looking at before going to Alaska, I believe that's like pre and post tour hotel stays. You would have to look a little closer in the description for that. But okay, let's look at this first one. 63 days. That's a long time. That's a good summer trip, I suppose. Ooh, they have some, if you want to leave in a couple days, right? All right. Great Falls, Cardston, Fort McLeod, Calgary. Again, all over the place. Yeah, wow. Anchorage. Again, very busy, right? But this one, you'll spend a couple more days than normal in some places, but overall, it's just day, 2 days, on to the next, right? Oh yeah, Brittany says, ooh, the commission on those has to be amazing. I hope so, right? A 63-day trip to Alaska. Yeah. Okay, so there are some tour options. Let's take a look at their group tours. They have women only groups, which is kind of cool. Oh, come on. Hopefully something will pop up. They don't have any available, I suppose. Okay. So they also have these different specific rallies that we didn't look at. Races, Balloon Fiesta, Christmas time, all right, New York City, the Rose Parade. It's pretty neat. They do have an event catalog, but I don't think they have anything on it right now. No. Let's see, let's look. Maybe in August. Just want to see if anything pops up. No, okay. And they also have travel insurance, right? So let's go back home. I believe that's everything for this one. Let me take a look down here. Okay, so some changes from their original catalog. And that's it. Okay. Oh, Deborah asks, I wonder if they provide estimates of what your fuel costs will be. So Deborah, for this specific vendor, probably not, because everything's all inclusive, right? The other vendors, you could probably ask for an estimate of fuel cost. That's one thing with RV travel right now, with the gas prices being high. You know, people might be more interested in booking these rallies, right? Although the most of the rallies that I've seen are for next year and the year before, but either way. Okay, so that is it for those 4 vendors. So for this one specifically, as I mentioned before, you're going to call this number or email here all of the information from the booking, and you'll receive your commission via mail from the company. Okay, I'm going to stop sharing and open the floor for any questions that people might have. If you don't have any questions, you are more than welcome to head out. And if you do head out, thank you for coming. I'm going to go ahead and stop recording.